What is going on, you beautiful people? It is your girl, El Danielle, aka La Courtney Maddox, aka Mrs. Maddox Motivations, and I'm coming at you from my home office. And I kind of want to wrap this series about narcissism, just talking about how a narcissistic relationship, whether that's with a family member, a romantic interest, coworker, friend, whoever it is, can be beneficial to you. Now, for those of you who have experienced or have had a relationship with a narcissist, a full-blown narcissist, or someone with high levels of narcissistic traits and things like that, you know that is not something you ever want to experience ever again. You just don't. When you've gone through that, you're like, heck no, like, bruh. No, I don't want to do that anymore. So, but what can you learn from this? Because a lot of times those kinds of relationships and situationships can come in and wreck your whole life. It happens, okay? It does. And can be one of the most devastating things that you will ever experience on an emotional level, right? It does something to you energetically. Like, it's almost like this person came into your life to deliberately try to break you, to break your spirit, to break the energy that you possess, right? And maybe there was a part of you that felt like, they broke me. I'm done. It's a wrap. We're done. We're done here. I'm not the same anymore. Well, more than likely, you're not going to be the same after an experience like that. Anytime we encounter anything that's like traumatic or just so disruptive in our life, it does shift us in different ways, in all kinds of ways, right? And so how do we take this situation, which could have been highly toxic, super detrimental to our physical bodies, our mental bodies, our emotional, all of it. How do we take that experience and flip it, transmute it, and make it something beautiful? One, you want to go back and you want to really study that thing. You want to study that relationship, the nature of that relationship, and what it was. What was the value you placed on it? How did you guys come together? Why did you have boundaries? And if so, were they solid? Why did you let your guards down? What was it this person was doing? Were they love bombing you? Were they making you feel like, oh, you're so amazing, and putting you on this emotional high so they could take from you? A lot of times these relationships do that. And so as you reflect on these things, you become aware of what worked and what didn't work. And you'll see a lot of things that were not working, a lot of things that did not align with who you were and what you wanted, right? And so if someone was saying all the right things, but their actions weren't following through with what they were saying, then, you could have been dealing with someone like that, with those traits and those tendencies. So what does it tell you from there? Boundaries. This is so important when you deal with people like this, right? You have to have solid, secure boundaries, and you have to be able to maintain those boundaries. You have to be able to communicate your needs. You have to be able to say no when someone is taking. They can only take if you're giving. So think about all the times where you said yes when you really should have said no, or where you should have put a very clear boundary and you didn't, right? You just allowed this open access to this person to come in and out freely, energetically into your space. And now you feel robbed of your energy, right? But it's like you allowed that access. So how can I take this experience and learn from it and grow from it? You can, and this is simply just saying how these types of relationships can actually be helpful for people. One, if you're a people pleaser, because usually narcissists are attracted to people who give, or an empath. A lot of empaths do find themselves giving, people pleasing, and all of that. After you've had that experience, it can benefit you in that you learn these boundaries, you learn how to communicate your needs, you know how to maintain those boundaries, and you stick to your guns, and you're like, no, I'm not doing that. No, you can do that, but I'm not doing that. You become more assertive. And with that ability to assert yourself is a level of confidence that's not cocky, but it's just You know what it is that you want and who you are, and you know that you know your value, you know your worth, and you're not allowing anyone to take you off your square. You're basically saying, I value me, I validate me, I learned how to take care of me. I'm not relying on another person to create my reality for me. And so these are some of the ways that these kinds of relationships can benefit people who have experienced that in the long run, because you now take care of self, validate self, prioritize self, and you learn how to balance your give and take. You learn, okay, I can give this, but you also learn when to pull back. Okay. And so these kinds of things are highly beneficial for people who have gone through these experiences. You know now how to manage your energies, how much access to allow someone, and if they're even worthy of it in the first place. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So even though these relationships and these experiences can be highly detrimental and emotionally just, it can jolt you in ways that you just never would have imagined, you will learn so much from it if you choose to. So that's all I have on that. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you would like a free consultation, or you would like to learn more about Maddox Motivations and what we do, then you can visit maddoxmotivations.com. So I will check you guys out on the next one. Take care, and I'll talk to you again soon.